60 days ago, I made the decision to completely abandon my original Marvel Strike Force account and start a brand new account, creating a YouTube channel to chronicle my adventures and provide new players with advice and guides on the early game in Marvel Strike Force. Little did I know that Scopely was doing a bit of A/B testing on accounts, meaning some accounts had a boosted experience rate while others did not. And I ended up with a boosted account. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a 60-day boosted account review, going over the pros and cons of having a boosted account and how it has affected how I've progressed in the game. Also, at the end, I'll go over my thoughts on boosted accounts and how I think Scopely could improve the new player experience. So with all that said, let's get into it. Alright, here we are after 60 days, and I gotta say, I've been having a lot of fun. I just hit level 82 today, and my TCP is about 1.5 million, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. I currently sit between 15 and 25 in Arena, depending on how active I am. There's an event going on at the moment that gives rewards based on your Arena rank, so it's a little bit more competitive right now than it usually would be. Quickly looking at the legendary sections, and I've managed to go through and get all of the mega orbs from the legendary events, and I was able to get some pretty good drops from those. Moving on to the campaign section, and here I've just been doing what I can when I can. I've managed to complete the Heroes campaign, and I'm working my way through Villains Chapter 7. The roadblock I've hit here is that the first 3 nodes of Chapter 7 require Sinister Six. And while they're a great team and a team I'll be building soon, I'm just too busy at the moment building up characters to get through Dark Dimension 3. Game modes are opening up so fast that I just can't keep up with building the characters required to participate in those game modes. I'll get there soon, it's just I have bigger priorities at the moment. So my main priority at the moment is Dark Dimension. I'm currently on my first run through Dark Dimension 3. And I gotta admit, it's been a bit of a struggle. It's not that the nodes themselves are extremely hard, it's having the characters built up and ready to go. If you happen to have watched my beginner guide series, I recommend to only spend 1,075,000 gold per day, as that's the last milestone that gives power cores as a reward. Well, if you have a boosted account, that is literally impossible. If I were to follow that rule, it would be weeks or even months before my Dark Dimension 3 roster for City would be complete. I tried to plan as well as I could for this, and if we look at the nodes, we can see I started Dark Dimension 3 with 1 Cosmic, 1 City, and 3 global characters, as the first node in Dark Dimension 3 that has a specific trait requirement is Node 5, which requires global. I did the first 3 global nodes with just 4 characters, but I did bring in a 5th for the final global node. The next section is the cosmic section, and that's where I started to really slow down. We can see on the first node I took 2 characters on the first attack, 3 characters on the second attack, and 4 characters on the third attack. And that's where I'm going to leave it until my second run. I'm just taking my time going through the cosmic nodes slowly with 4 characters to give me time to build up my city team. Otherwise, I would be spending 5 to 15 million gold per day just trying to build my roster. Now, this is just my Dark Dimension teams, which, if you noticed, my global team is mainly the Mutant Raid team, and my city team is mainly the Bio Raid team, with some arena and meta characters mixed in. I haven't even started building characters required for Apocalypse or any other legendaries like Black Cat and Green Goblin Classic. Alright, so I'm level 82 and still working on my Dark Dimension City team to level 75 gear tier 14, which means all of my other characters are still level 75. Let's have a close look at my roster to see where my account is after 60 days. So I put it in portrait mode so that we can see my entire roster on one page. These are all of the characters that I have put resources into over the 60 days that I've played. Keep in mind that I'm currently level 82. So I have 11 characters at level 75 gear tier 14, 6 characters at level 65 gear tier 12. I'm currently working on Gwenem for my City Dark Dimension team. She's level 70 gear tier 13, and I'll take her to level 75 gear tier 14 tomorrow. The rest of the characters, 22 to be exact, are all level 60 or below, and I've only put resources into them for the mega orbs from legendary events. That leaves over 150 characters that I've unlocked that are completely untouched. There are 20 characters that I want to take to level 80 to start Dark Dimension 4 as soon as I finish Dark Dimension 3. Some of which I haven't even started building or I don't even have unlocked. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I know what some people might be thinking. If I have over 100 million gold and lots of materials, why don't I just use those resources to build up characters faster? Well, my shorter answer is that it's just not the most efficient way of playing. And while 100 million gold, 5,000 gold training mats, and 3,500 gold ability mats might seem like a lot to a new player, it really isn't. For example, my Dark Dimension 4 teams have 7 characters that I haven't put any resources into yet at all. This is because Dark Dimension 4 is the first Dark Dimension that requires legendary characters. To put it into perspective, to build all the characters I need to level 85 gear tier 15, it would take roughly 6,500 gold training materials, about 90 to 100 million gold, and 2,250 purple ability materials. I'm not even going to go into the gold ability materials as they are pretty rare, and I'll probably do a separate video discussing what characters I would use my gold ability mats on as a new player. So if you're interested in stuff like that and more, consider subscribing, it really helps the channel out. So as we can see, I'd barely have enough gold and ability materials to cover it, and not even close to enough training materials. Which brings me to probably the most important part of the video. If I'm struggling with materials as an experienced player that has a goal and is playing very efficiently, what chance does a new player with a boosted account have? Before they know it, they will be level 80 with heaps of game modes unlocked that they aren't participating in because they have 50 characters built at all varying levels of investment and no resources left. And I haven't even mentioned the non-boosted accounts getting smashed in Arena by 2-month-old boosted accounts with Arena teams that have already surpassed theirs, even though they've been playing for 3 or 4 months. Don't take this video the wrong way. I'm not complaining about having a boosted account. I'm just showing you guys my experience so far and how I think that experience might be a little overwhelming for new players. So what do I think Scopely should do to improve the new player experience? I think everybody should get the experience rate of a boosted account, and Scopely should throw out tons and tons of gear to new players to help them progress faster. But let's not forget that Scopely's main priority is to make money, and I just don't think they're going to go for that idea. But I'll mention a few ideas that I think could really help new players progress to the mid-game faster without getting thrown into the deep end too early. Let's go over the problems I think new players will face. Progressing too fast. I think new player accounts should progress very fast to level 50. This way, they can participate in new character release events. Level 50 to 65 should be about the same rate as a boosted account. Once level 65, you have Raid and Blitz Sim unlocked, Cosmic Crucible, and Dark Dimension. This is where I think the experience rate should slow down a little bit, but not too much. Level 65 to level 90 should still be relatively fast, but if Scopely aren't going to dramatically increase the amount of resources they give to new and mid-game players, then I think the rate at which an account can go from level 65 to level 90 is just too fast to keep up with, given the amount of resources we currently get. So let's talk about resources and what I think they should do to relieve a bit of the resource crunch new players go through. Starting with gold. I think the amount of gold we get is pretty good. The problem is all of the gold costs associated with gearing up a character. Levels cost gold, putting gear on cost gold, applying ability mats cost gold. Increasing the character's star level costs a ridiculous amount of gold. My roster is absolutely tiny for a level 82 account. I think if Scopely reduced or removed the cost of a lot of the lower levels, then newer players could build more characters and teams to a wider level. At this point, I think gearing a character to level 65, gear 212 should have zero gold cost. Look at it this way. If I want to participate in Dark Dimension 4 or 5 anytime soon, then I will have to use the characters that I took into Dark Dimension 3, give or take one or two. This means by the time I hit level 90 and above, my account is going to look very similar to what it does now. Pretty much the same 20 to 30 characters, just at a higher level. So some arena and raid characters, as well as characters required for Apocalypse and other legendaries, are all taking a backseat for now, which is unfortunate. There's obviously a lot more Scopely could do to improve the new player experience, but I think gold and resources are going to be the main problem most new players will face, regardless of if they have a boosted account or not. However, we haven't even discussed the biggest problem. Scopely hasn't done anything about this yet, which means they either have no idea what to do, or they aren't going to do anything at all to fix this for the players that don't have boosted accounts. To be honest, I'm not even sure what they could do to try and make this right. But they have to do something, and it has to be soon. Every day they go without fixing this is another day a boosted account increases its gap over a non-boosted account. And while there are certain disadvantages to having a boosted account, it's overall a massive advantage. Well, I think that just about does it. If you found the information in the video useful, please hit the like button and share with your alliance. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified when I release new Marvel Strike Force content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.